Now, UNLV and RTC officials hope that over the next 5 years that 25% of the students can trade in their vehicles for bus rides. That would prove that the UNLV master plan was a success. But they know that students aren't ready to trade in their car seats for bus seats. And at any given day, there could be over 1,000 future pets at this animal foundation, each looking for their own loving family to call their own. Now the wind turbines are set to go just beyond the hills over there, just behind me, all the way to Spirit Mountain. And for locals, this is going to be more than an obtrusive view. This is also going to affect the environment. Bamani said this is the area where the 75 spots of alternative parking is located. And right behind me is where the transit center is going to be in the U-lot. But according to the UNLV master plan, student parking is going vertical. Now, many bars around Las Vegas have gimmicks with their drinks or their atmosphere, but here at Las Vegas' oldest bar, history is on their side. Reporting from the Atomic, I'm Carl Winder, Fox 5, local, Las Vegas.
My thought this is ridiculous. We pay like really expensive for the parking already.
What I like to call a complete row of seeing all these empty staff parking spaces.
I'd say go myself because I pay $130 a semester in parking permits.
UNLV students are furious about the construction of the new UNLV Transit Center as building begins on March 11th. The multimodal center will be built on the U-lot located behind Greenspun Hall. And for students, since the U-lot will not have student parking, finding a spot in the H&F lot has become harder.
I don't pay to walk 2 miles to my class in the Greenspun building.
It's really hard to find parking in the mornings. Anytime after 12 o'clock it's impossible to find parkings unless you go to Thomas and Mack, and even then it gets hard in Thomas and Mack.
UNLV leased property to the Regional Transportation Commission and was approved by the Board of Regents in 2011. The $3.5 million transit center didn't cost UNLV anything, and the project is fully funded by the Department of Transportation and the RTC, and is all part of UNLV's master plan. But one concern came from Regent Michael Wixom regarding the student parking. Over 90 spots would be taken away. Senior Vice President for Finance and Business, Jerry Bamani, said that 75 spots were added at an alternate site to help accommodate the loss.
What we did to accommodate that, I don't know if you have been here long enough to know the north and south trailer parks that were there. There used to be a bunch of trailers over in that area.
Bamani said this is the area where the 75 spots of alternative parking is located. And right behind me is where the transit center is going to be in the U-lot. But according to the UNLV master plan, student parking is going vertical.
We also have been looking at right across Maryland Parkway for a parking garage. We haven't been able to find any partners or any land that is big enough that we could purchase over there, but we think that's a great opportunity where, you know, you're very close to the core of campus.
People who live here will have to put up with them for 30 years, and I probably won't be around in 30 years.
Judy Berndorf is one of the thousands of people that populate the small town of Searchlight, Nevada. For the people who inhabit the quaint town, they will have wind turbines courtesy of the U.S. government. But according to the local, not only will it destroy the land, they won't even get the benefits of the wind power.
The destruction of pristine desert for very expensive wind power that will go to California.
A local Indian tribe that has land in Searchlight isn't opposed to renewable energy. They're against where they put it.
It's where you put it. It's where you put it, and the locations matter. And the reason why the tribe is concerned that this is a bad location is because they've not talked to us directly.
Now the wind turbines are set to go just beyond the hills over there, all the way to Spirit Mountain just right behind me. And for local searchlighters, it's going to be more than just an eyesore for the turbines. It's also going to affect the environment.
There'll be a lot of blasting. This is prime desert tortoise habitat. It's a bighorn sheep migratory path, and people say, oh, they'll learn to avoid them, but they won't survive until long enough to learn.
Berndorf said she would be a supporter for the wind technology since Searchlight generates a lot of wind, but there's a catch.
If it were more effective.
From Searchlight, Nevada, I'm Carl Winder, Fox 5, local, Las Vegas. NASCAR has over 100,000 people annually in Las Vegas. For some trailblazers, it isn't enough to sit in the grandstands or even view it from the rooftop. The RV travelers have a different solution.
don't want to damage the trailer. But at the same time, you want to watch the race from a higher point of view, right?
Even though some may look dangerous, one RV roof deck was professionally built by an MGM architect.
Well, my stepdad's a carpenter. He's the one that came up with the idea. Just having 10, 15, 20 people on top of the motorhome, it began to feel unsafe. Stepdad came up with the deck, built it in about 3 days at the home shop, brought it out here the first year, tested it out, and it worked.
There are some decks where you can actually watch the race. There's some decks where you can watch television and watch the race. But there's only one deck here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway that has its own bridge in between two trailers.
These guys all wanted to go to Vegas for this race, and they were trying to figure out how we could be up on top. This one was built 5 years ago, that one was built 3 years ago, and the bridge was built 2 years ago.
For Roberts, there wasn't a reason for building the bridge.
I don't honestly know, other than I just thought it'd be fun.
The bridge maker has ambitious goals for his unique structure.
Yeah, what we've talked about is building them to where that we didn't have to take them off.